Survivors of crashes, what was the first thing you thought of when it happened? Got rear-ended pretty hard. Saw the vehicle coming up behind me but couldn't get out of the way due to stopped car in front of me, oncoming traffic on one side, and a row of mailboxes on the other side. My first thought, which I actually said out loud to myself as I watched for the split second I had as the car came at me in the mirror, was "Oh shit, this is going to hurt bad." And right after getting hit at about 55 miles per hour, my Jeep almost totaled, and the front half of a Nissan peeled apart under my Jeep. First thing I did was run to the car behind me screaming, asking if they were okay. "I miss that Jeep," cried when I took it to the salvage yard. "Pretty sure I owe that old Cherokee my life." In the space of a second, "Hey, that car's not supposed to be there, huh? No one's panicking, guess it'll be fine then." Wham. Then Mum's screaming and crying since the point of impact was her door and she was driving, Dad's clutching his chest just going ugh. Ugh, I'm confused more than anything. We get out. It was so strange, like I was in a movie. I thought it was insane other people could be having a boring, mundane Sunday afternoon and I wanted to have that boredom so much. Car parts and car fluids littered the intersection. They looked pretty, I still have one. I rolled my first car down a 1520 hill. I can't remember all my thoughts, but here are some excerpts. It was a real slow thing, going about 35 kilometers per hour. "Well, I guess I'm going this way now. Hey, that sounds like glass. I hope my hair is fine. I should probably cover my face." My initial thought was, why can't I hear, and why is everything moving in slow motion? Then after I spit glass out of my mouth I said, "Where are my shoes?" Went back to the crash site a few hours later and found my shoes about 100 yards away in a field. I was in a rollover. Car landed on its side and I wound up basically hanging by my seatbelt. During the actual flipping it was just this surreal, "Whoa, look at all this stuff flying around. This ain't normal." Once the car stopped it was pure panic. "Get me down, get me out of here X1000" until the driver came around and helped me. My parents are gonna kill me. I had only just passed my driving test, borrowed my mom's car to go to a friend's house. As I parked on the road outside, the person parked in front of me didn't realize I parked behind them. They put their car in reverse, didn't check behind them and reversed straight into me, smashed in the front of the car pretty good. Amazing how much damage can be done in a low-speed collision. Even now I don't know why I didn't put my head on the horn, it all seemed to happen at once. Just remember thinking they're reversing. Still remember making the call home, parents were fine about it, just relieved I was okay. I hit a large tree at 60 mile per hour, they don't move an inch. It put my Fiesta's engine into the mercifully unoccupied passenger seat. As I realized I was screwed and time slowed down to give me extra appreciating my doom time, my thoughts were basically just variations of "oh fuck." After the crash there was a lot of giggling thanks to shock. My injuries were limited to ridiculous bruising and holes in my face where the airbag had punched the screws on my rimless specs, especially at the police breathalyzing me twice because they couldn't believe the 0 reading. I can't blame them. The bottle of vodka and slab of beer I was taking to the party had basically detonated, covering me and making me stink like a hobo lottery win. 7:21 p.m. I receive a text message from a young woman on whom I've had a long-time crush. She says that she'll be stripping for the first time at a club approximately an hour from my house, and that she'd really like me to be there for her. I politely decline, mistakenly thinking that she made the offer because I'm the safe guy friend. 7:23 p.m. I receive another message with a request to spend the night with me after her striptease. I head for my car, which was a Saturn II of some variety or another. 7:35 p.m.-ish. As I'm crossing an overpass, the vehicle in front of me swerves. I think nothing of it. Suddenly, my car starts to spin out. I smash into the guardrail and come to a stop some 10 seconds later. The airbag tastes like Funyuns. Another car hits me from behind. We limp our way to the first exit and get off the road, where we both agree that something slippery was present on the overpass. 7:45 p.m.-ish. The police arrive. They ask if I've been drinking. I have not. They ask where I was headed. I suddenly remember my friend. 7:50 p.m.ish. I call my friend. She is disappointed. 8:15 p.m.ish. My car is towed. 8:20 p.m.ish. I sulk in an In-N-Out burger in the presence of a friend and the guy that she briefly considered leaving for me. It is awkward. 8:22 p.m.ish. I realize that I left my wallet in my car. 8:22 p.m.ish. Oh, no, wait, here it is. Phew. While on safari in Kenya, outside Masai Mara, my van slid out and rolled 270 degrees. Oh shit, this is actually happening, isn't it? There aren't seatbelts. No one is wearing a seatbelt. Grabs onto armrests too late. At least I saw it coming and was able to lean away from the window as we were tipping. The girls in front of and behind me didn't and shattered their collarbones on contact. Been through 2 crashes, one as passenger and one as driver. When I was the passenger, the driver drove a bit too close to the shoulder of the road. In my country, South Africa, some of the roads have badly maintained shoulders, where chunks of the shoulder basically is gone and the rocks underneath is simply exposed. She basically drove over one of these and popped all her tires on the left side of the car. We swerved into the oncoming lane and we almost tipped over. My most distinct thought during the crash was, oh good, we are swerving towards the truck. There was a truck in the oncoming lane. We missed it by about a meter. When I was the driver, it was a 4-way stop but no signs. Apparently the locals have a habit of stealing them. I was traveling towards the stop at decent speed and saw a car stop. To cross, I clearly saw the driver look around and then initiate the turn. My first thought was, why is he not stopping? Then oh shit, he's turning. I slammed the brakes and swerved to try and miss him but ended up T-boning his car. We are both not seriously injured. He had a bruised shoulder, I got a bloody nose. We got out of the wreck and checked each other. Then we kinda just sat around dazed. The nearby locals came quickly and called for help. We then realized that 4-way stop street had no signs, just 4 poles where the signs were supposed to be. Just lucky that we were both not badly injured. Got knocked in the head real hard and partially scalped. It was a rollover and the cab was full of dirt. First thought was literally, something bad happened, I need to be elsewhere. I was about 8 and was playing Angry Birds. I didn't notice until my iPad flew straight down to the ground and look up. The windscreen was shattered. I was so confused. I was told to get up and leave the car instantly. I only realized that we had a car crash a minute later. Rollover when I was 18, first thought was to look into the back seat to make sure everyone was okay. Almost had a heart attack cause I thought my mate was covered in blood. His shirt was just red. The 5 of us were unscathed, oh thank God, steered into a tree instead of going down a hill. I still feel really shit about it sometimes. I flew out the back window of a car during a rollover. This was during the 90s as a kid. I woke up on my back with the rear windshield in pieces on my back. My first thought was, oh shit, am I okay? I remember in high school we had a very peculiar French teacher. He was kind of robotic, but when he made jokes they were super awkward and felt forced. One day he was absent because he had a violent car crash, but he came back the other with 0 scratches and told us the story like it was casual. Oh shit, what is he doing? This is it? Oh, guess not? How fucked is the car? That stupid cunt, I should spit in his face and cut him. Gods, what a mess. Frown. Didn't spit in his face, he was a newbie driver. I was 5, and we got rear-ended at least 45. First thing I said was, name of my sister, hold on. After the crash, I asked if my mom was hurt. Our Dodge Stratus was totaled, but thank God nobody was seriously hurt. My dad flipped his old car and ended up nose down in a ditch. He was worried they'd drain his petrol tank. They did. I was the pilot when it happened. During, that doesn't look good. What do I do next? Applying in-flight procedures. And when is this gonna stop? ? When will I have control again? During the loo moments where there was nothing more to do than let it happen. 1 second after, okay. Shit. I'm safe. State of shock, I guess. A minute later, and this lasted some days. it's the end of the world. Was scared it would compromise all my pilot activities. Car rear. Sat in the passenger seat, all of a sudden my hat goes flying into the windshield. It took me a second to realize we had been rear-ended. Luckily it was at fairly low speed and we were wearing seatbelts. I was also hit by a car as pedestrian once. I crossed the street because a lorry was parked in the side of the road. Then as I crossed it back without looking, all of a sudden I was lying on my back at the side of the road. I thought, what the fuck just happened? I had walked right into the side mirror of a moving car. Again, I had luck on my side and I was more or less unharmed. I moved my leg and my foot stayed put, and I caught myself thinking that was different this morning.